the role of artificial intelligence in the collection development process. Now, in today's class, let me highlight on integrating artificial intelligence in library and information science in teaching and learning. I don't know how many of you are teachers. Maybe very few are teachers, but many of you being librarians are also dealing with some courses or some classes on information literacy, or some courses if you are running MLIC or BLIC in your institution. So the point is, morning we discussed what is its role in collection development, where at least some decisions used to be taken, some decisions used to be taken by the brain. That kind of activities only we made it amenable to the AI. There are many packages which are available online. I mean, there are many AI tools which are available, which can help us in the process of collection development. We have noticed that, yes, many Western or US or European libraries, they have implemented these kinds of things, including few university or other institutional libraries in Asia, particularly South Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, those kinds of, when some of few universities, they have introduced those things. Other than that, yes, it's still a theoretical concept. But now, coming back to this question again, integrating artificial intelligence in library and information science in teaching and learning. Already there is one discussion which is going on. There is one group which is claiming that the present LIS teachers are not well versed even to handle computer courses. They lack experience. They lack practicability. They do not know how to handle ICT-based courses to the students without having knowledge of computers and all that. This is, being a teacher, I'm facing criticisms from the practicing librarians. And there is one more argument that our undergraduates, whatever graduates that we are developing, they are unemployable. They do not have employability skills. They lack employability skills. There is one more argument which says that the curriculum is completely outdated. Curriculum is completely outdated. It does not represent the employer's needs. At the same time, there is one more argument that the LIS curriculum is too heavy. These are the views of different professionals in the group. One says teachers are not competent enough to handle ICT-based classes. Second one is it lacks relevancy. The third one is whatever is there, it is dumped and the syllabus is too heavy. So under the circumstances, we have now a tool, the AI tools, whether those AI tools can be used, whether those AI tools can be integrated into library and information science in teaching and learning. So this aspect has two different lenses that it will identify. It will see LIS teaching and learning through two different lenses. Lens number one, which I call it as point one, I consider AI tool merely as a pedagogical delivery tool. It's a pedagogy that I am talking about. like PowerPoint, like some other podcasting or some other things. I just see it as a tool that I can use it to deliver lectures, to enhance the LIS courses. It's a pedagogical tool. The second lens, now AI is already there. Morning, though we have discussed about collection development, we have also seen that AI has revolutionized the entire library operations, whether it is reference service or it is whether it is cataloging or classification or workflow management or preservation archiving. I mean, the entire area of library operations could be enhanced using artificial intelligence. Now, under the circumstances, whether AI itself could become a curriculum content for LI courses. If yes, then to what extent we can teach the AI components to our students? To what extent it can be integrated into the curriculum? To what extent it can be integrated into the curriculum? So these are the two aspects. These are the two aspects that need to be discussed at length. The discussion has started. Maybe like integrating AI in CD also requires money. It requires institutional support. Even the same holds good here, that it requires institutional support, everything. But what are the opportunities available and what are the challenges that we have to face while integrating AI into the LIS education component? The point number one and the point number two, they are very much clear. One is using it as a pedagogical delivery. You using it for pedagogical delivery. It's an instrument. It's a tool. Second one, it's a subject matter. It is the actual subject matter. It is actually the subject matter. The subject matter that we have to understand. Now we have to make distinctions between these two aspects. We are not supposed to mix them. The first part is merely AI as a tool. AI as a tool to deliver LI courses more effectively. We can use the adaptive learning platforms to adjust to each student's pace. NAP talks about different levels of students, so slow learners, fast learners, normal average learners. So to adjust to the student's pace. Now grading, automatic grading. So that itself will assign marks, that itself will assign grades to the script, or it will assign marks to the computerized script, which we can see it as answers which are provided by the students. For deeper monitoring, intelligent tutoring systems for 24/7, not necessarily from 10 to 5:30, not necessarily within the stipulated timetable, which is accessible the whole day, the entire 24/7. Now we can also identify at-risk students who is not understanding, who is understanding, who cannot cope up with the pace. So we can make a risk analysis. And the next point is that of administrating the entire AI courses, streamlining the administrative point from timetable setting to scheduling, everything, organizing classes and all that. This will be discussed as part one. Whereas in part two, we are considering it as a curriculum. It's a subject matter. It's a subject matter. AI technology as the core subject matter. What can be taught to them and to what extent? Certainly, we cannot teach AI to our library science students the way we are teaching AI to the Bachelor of Technology in Artificial Intelligence or BE in Artificial Intelligence. The way we are teaching them, the way the AI curriculum that the BE or BTech students manage, is certainly different from that of the one which we have to deal with the library and information science students. We need it at the superficial level. We need it at some level where we can use it for our other purposes, for all other technicalities, for all other solutions, for all other debugging, for all other technology solution providers. There is always the computer science engineers are with us, or AI specialized engineers. We should know the content because we are using it as a tool to provide library operations. We are using it as a tool to provide library services. Hence, as a subject matter, we have to study. What all we have to study? Machine learning, natural language processing, fundamentals, the automated metadata generation, AI powered cataloging, AI powered search, discovery, and recommendation systems, data governance, ethics, algorithmics, managing, auditing the AI systems. When I'm talking about the AI powered search and discovery tools, when I was in National Center for Science Information as a trainee at the Indian Institute of Science in 92, 93, 92, the year 92 or 93, probably late Dr. T.B. Rajshekhar had just returned from United States of America. In the entire Indian Institute of Science campus, instead of search software, he was talking about search engines. Search engines. That was 91, 92, 93. Now it is 2026. That means almost 3.5 decades. Within 3.5 decades, the entire search process of the search pattern has changed from search engines to AI powered search, discovery, and recommendation systems. So we have developed, to what extent, what is that we have to study there? What is data governance? And what are the ethical principles that we are supposed to study? What is algorithmic accountability? How to manage and audit AI systems? How to manage them? So these are the aspects that we have to study in this part. Now, when I'm talking about AI for teaching and learning LIS, I mean to say that it is merely an operational and instrumental tool to improve how university educators, university means higher education, it also means academic, colleges also educators of higher learning, how to deliver LIS courses, how they can deliver the LIS courses. This is the real question that has to be answered. There are many tools which are available within the AI. The first one is AI driven adaptive learning systems like Duolingo, McGraw Hill, Alex, Dreambox Learning, Newton Alta, Doebo, many other softwares which are available. So I mean by these softwares, these are the adaptive learning systems. What they say is, and how they can be useful, using them, we can go for dynamic content sequencing. Content sequencing. We can analyze quiz results, dwell time, error patterns to reorder the course modules. Maybe the course module itself, we are introducing, take for example, course 1. Within course 1, subunit 1, actually subunit 1 shall come at the end, subunit 7 may come at the beginning, or within the subunit 1, the sequencing is wrong. Without knowing these things, we cannot go to the next one. So these kinds of errors might have happened. We can reorder the entire course modules. Each student can follow a unique optimized learning path through cataloging, research methods, and databases modeling and whatever. So the dynamic content sequencing can be achieved using AI-driven adaptive learning systems. The second one is real-time difficulty adjustment. Real-time difficulty adjustment. So now, if he is too good enough, he can easily score 80 plus. When he can score 85% consistently, AI shall instantly raises its complexity level has to rise. If he is consistently not rising, if he is consistently falling behind below 60%, below 55%, like that, he has to be pulled up. So real-time difficulty adjustment situations have to be given by the AI-driven adaptive learning machines. The third one is personalized learning pathways. You can build individual learning profiles. You can build your own learning profiles. You can build your own path. If you need more practice on metadata, you will have targeted extra resources at your end so that you can do more. Your efficiency is less. You cannot do the work according to your limitations. Personalized learning pathways can help you as a tool. We can use it as a personalized learning pathway. The third one is competency based progression. This concept at present does not exist in India. The one that I'm talking about, because it talks about the LIS accreditation standards against the ALI, CLIP, and IFLA standards. Though IFLA has come out with its own guidelines on higher education, LI courses way back in 2022-23. I mean, we are far from implementing those concepts into our curriculum, except a few isolated institutions and universities. So students can advance only when they demonstrate mastery over a subject, not just when 16 months, 16 weeks program is completed, appeared, filled the examination form, did not appear for the exam. Okay, push him to second semester. Appear for 16-week course, again maintain attendance, fill application form. So this is the situation now, not that kind of a thing. He can be pushed to only when he can demonstrate the mastery over it. To a certain extent, there will be some benchmarks and all that. So these LI standard accreditation standards exist in the European context. This is not preferred at the Indian level because we do not have any accredited LI courses in our country, except NAC accredited universities that are delivering library and information science as a postgraduate course. Now, this theory is based on the constructivism theory that AI can act as a scaffold. Maybe you can understand what scaffold is. Scaffold is a tool that helps to climb from one position to another position. When particularly this helps the builders, large buildings, the laborers use these kind of scaffolds. So AI scaffolds learning with each student's zone of proximal development. Each one of them has their own developmental stage. So AI can really act as a tool, and AI-driven adaptive learning systems can help in these aspects. And the second one is that of intelligent tutoring systems, automated grading. These are two different aspects. Now we are grading. We are making use of computerized, I mean, the question papers are digitized and we are scrolling them. We are awarding marks. For each page, we have to identify, we have to add a tag that we have valued it, or there is nothing, or answer is wrong. We have to identify, and we are doing it. Though we have some digitized script, manually we are doing it with the help of computer. I'm talking about intelligent tutoring systems. As a teacher, I'm available to students maybe 10 to 5:30 if I'm a pure teacher. But now you do not find any pure teacher who is dedicated all the time to a teacher. He has to play many administrative roles. Many administrative roles in the college or a university may not be accessible to students. So the intelligent tutoring systems like Carnegie Learning, assessments, AutoTube, Conmingo. So these are some of the softwares. These are some of the tools that I have listed. Can be used for 24/7 student support. If I'm interested in the morning, I can do. If I'm interested in the afternoon hours or late night, whatever it is, early morning, wee hours, I can use it. Formative feedback loops. Very difficult for me, very difficult for any human being to provide immediate specific feedback. Even if we look at the summative scripts, may not be possible to give 100% explicit feedback, whereas the AI tool does it. The third one is learning gap identification. It tracks where each student is struggling, at what stage he is struggling, how he is moving ahead, and alerts faculty with a weekly gap analysis report. So this gap analysis report really helps the teacher to mend the student. So now, in the automatic grading or assessment, time is reclaimed for teaching. We may have to spend huge time in going through, in grading, in assessing and grading the script. In our absence, the machine does. Consistent bias-free marking. It will not identify that this script belongs to student A, student B, student C. I need to be biased. I need to give something like that. Now, all rubric aligned AI eliminates inter-rater variabilities. Every LI student is assessed against standard benchmarking or standard criteria, regardless of which faculty member reviews or whatever it is. The third one is rapid assignment turnaround. We may not need it in days. Graded feedback can be done within minutes. So this really gives us more time to dedicate ourselves to understand the student's psychology, to adjust to his nature and provide him the guidance and all that. The third, predictive student learning analytic techniques. Dropout detective, IntelliBoard, Century Tech, Canvas Analytics, such tools, and there are many other tools that can be used to predict student learning analytics. We can collect the data either from learning management systems logins, assignments, quiz scores, forum posts, library databases, access logs. Collecting that data, we can come out with some pattern recognition. What kind of a pattern exists, where they are lacking, where they are gaining, where they are improving, using machine learning, identifying warning signals, declining engagement, missed submissions, reduced logins, frequency, such things. Using those things, they can come out with a pattern recognition, which can lead to risk stratification. They can segment the students according to different risks, and using faculty alert dashboards, they can be assisted, and early intervention is possible. So the predictive student learning analytics could be used as a tool to map the students' strengths and weaknesses and accordingly plan your curriculum. The fourth one, we can use it as a tool for optimizing engagement and administrative workflows. Whether it can be discussion facilitation or intelligent scheduling or automated assignment briefings or proactive nudge systems. I mean, A behavioral AI sends personalized reminders when a student has not accessed the core LIS module, nudge system. So after so many days, you have not attempted it. 3 days passed, you have not attempted it. It asks general things and elicits data from him. So that helps. And the fifth area in which it can be used is curriculum gap analysis. AI cross-references assessment performance against LIS accreditation competency frameworks, flagging curriculum gap. Now I tell you, I don't know how many of you are from Karnataka. I think majority of you are from other states also. For your information, the government of Karnataka has recently constituted some experts committee for identifying the curriculum in the gap along with foreign universities in almost 29 subjects. 29 subjects. They have identified some groups, they have identified some foreign universities. Now, those foreign universities, they are not taking all our curriculum and cross-checking with them. I'm sure, 100% sure, they are the leading universities across the globe, and surely they are using this curriculum gap analysis, and that expert committee will come out with this kind of a framework, which will be used by the Karnataka State Higher Education Council to reshape, to revamp its curriculum. This is one stage where the government of Karnataka is actively involved in it. And AI assisted office hours. Chatbots can handle the routine queries. Now, as an administrator or as a head of the department or a top level management or a teacher, we may have to answer the queries even after our workflow, even after 5:30 or even before 10 o'clock. On the other hand, these chatbots can handle the routine questions, the deadlines, the reading lists, the format requirements, reserving human faculty contact times, which is not there in the Indian context at present, but now may come in few years of time because there will be shortage of human resources in teaching and all that. So the entire engagement process can be optimized, or the AI tool can be used for our administrative workflows by using any of the softwares which is available in the market. So now this using those tools, the one that I have talked about, the administrative workflows, optimizing engagement, predictive student learning analytics, intelligent tutoring systems and automated grading, AI-driven adaptive learning systems. So these aspects that I'm talking about, these are merely based on these theoretical foundations. The first foundation is that of constructivism, that we can use AI as a scaffold to move ahead. The technology acceptance model, the student base or teacher base, it always perceives usefulness and ease of use of predict adoption. So we are using it. Yes, any question? Anyone who raised the okay. Now, hat is visible learning philosophy. They have analyzed, feedback instantly at scale, and that visible learning systems can be assisted. Bloom's technology. This is the one that we are using now. At present, the entire all general universities or colleges which have gone at least for first cycle accessing of NAC certainly have adopted this. At least in the theoretical part, certain techniques have been adopted and certain parameters have been used to come out with some rule, come out with some results and all that. Nudge theory, I have already told, some small timely interventions are required. Timely interventions are required. I may not be able to recollect, but someone will give me a prompt. See, this is the one. And then immediately I can cope it up and I can take it to the next level. This kind of timely intervention guide, you can see when you are viewing or when you are listening to a Hindustani music or Karnataki music. The person who is performing, at times he stops. The moment he stops, the other nudge theory person who is supporting him will give him where he stops, and the performer will take it from there. This is the one. Small, timely interventions are required at times, at regular intervals of times. So these all things which I have discussed, those four items which I have already discussed, are based on these theoretical foundations and which are really required. Measuring, collecting, and analyzing the data which we have collected about the learners to optimize the learning. Maybe some students are interested in not in particular subject, but in other aspects. So these things can be analyzed, and these things, the reports could be based, because we believe that predictive analytics for LIS students' retention is a direct and rigorous application of this learning analytics framework. So this is how we can use it as a tool to deliver the LIS courses. But there are challenges. Basic challenge is many of the institutions, even on this date, do not have a state-of-the-art computers. They do not have access to internet. Leave apart 1 Gbps internet. There are many infrastructure lacunas are there. Leaving apart the first challenge, that we have to use it AI as a pedagogical delivery tool. The first thing is about the student data privacy. This data privacy we have also seen in the morning session in collection development, when we want to map the entire user's profile. The same things come over here. The LMS, analytics and adaptive systems, collect intimate behavioral data. Underline intimate behavioral data. Behavioral data. This intimate behavioral data could be misused like anything. Hence, we require certain GDPR or FERPA guidelines. And far from reaching, but still, when we want to implement them, we need to protect the data privacy of the students. Now, when we are using CC cameras and all that, we are getting RTI that you give me the video recording of the teacher ABC, what he taught in the classroom. This kind of questions will come to the RTI section. So now we need to have some kind of student data privacy policy in this regard. And the second one is algorithmic fairness in grading. Algorithmic fairness in grading. Those who are familiar with automated grading systems can easily pass. But there are many disadvantaged communities, disadvantaged students from non-English background or different writing traditions. They may not do very well in this regard. Some of you who are trying with European countries, you might be facing the IELTS exam, the English ability examination. Maybe your brother, sister, some people might be facing. They are facing this problem, algorithmic fairness in grading. They might be using the terminologies which is familiar to them, but the expectation of the grading system is that of a highly adopted system. So this is one challenge where this may pose as an obstacle for learning. The third one is loss of the human relationship in teaching learning process. The entire over automation risks completely eroding the human relationships, that of a guru shishya relationships, which we are repeatedly telling over the 5,000-year history like that. In this kind of a system, there could be a loss of, there's a problem. I'm not saying it will go away, but there will be loss of the human relationships. One thing we have to understand here, machines cannot substitute the human brain. This is far from, human brain is far supreme than that of a machine which the human has created. But of course, there is a danger of losing the human relationships. Cost and infrastructure barriers. For me, this is the major concern in implementing the AI tools in general universities to deliver the courses. Huge cost, huge infrastructure is required. We have to adopt learning platforms. We have to carry significant licensing costs. If we visit our own campus, you may find more than 50% of pirated software which are available. You take any example of NAC+++ university, you take. So we find this kind of an attitude. Now, this is the problem we have to look into very seriously. The faculty digital competency gap. This is in the beginning I have highlighted. Faculty digital competency does not apply only to the library science teachers. The librarians and the other working people, we are concerned with them, hence the blame is on the teachers that they are not digitally capable of. You take any subject for that matter, the existing teachers, they lack this digital competency. Their digital competency should be lifted. Many LIS educators were not trained to use AI pedagogical tools. When I learned computers at Karnataka University in 1991, computers were treated like a holy cows. They were treated like holy cows. Now you people are treating, and you are using it more pragmatically, more generally and all that. But now many of the teachers who are right now in the profession, they are not even taught the advanced level computerized teaching. Leave apart the AI pedagogical tools. This is another challenge that we are facing in integrating AI tools in delivering the LIS courses. The validity of AI assessment. Certain assessments have to be made. Certain assessments have to be made by human mind only. Human mind only. You cannot use automatic systems to grade them. Sachin Tendulkar has graded one of his best innings as 97 plus. 97 plus not out as his best ever score that he has scored. But he has scored many huge scorings. He had won matches for us. If you put it across the machine will come out with some results where he has scored 250 plus runs. Might be. I mean, the validity of AI assessment is not valid. Perfectly, sometimes it may not match. Whether it actually suits the intended LIS competencies. Psychometric validity of automated assessment requires ongoing review against professional accreditation standards. Again, I'm just mentioning about Sampath Kumar's example of that popular article. What is the validity of AI assessment? It's very poor. May not come up to the level of the human brain. Now, at this level, what LIS educators should do now? What is that? Simply, we cannot bring AI technology and introduce. For us, the shift is from sage on the stage to guide on the side. We are at this, actually, we are at the extreme left. We have to move to the extreme right. Paradigm shift has to take place. How? It can handle routine instructions. Faculty can focus on monitoring, critical thinking, and professional formation. These are the aspects. As a human being, as a teacher, my shift should be only focus on mentoring, critical thinking, and professional formation. I can leave the entire routine instruction purposes, routine instruction delivery things to the machine. The basic thing, the first thing that I ever to do is I have to audit my LIS capability for AI capabilities. Where do I stand? Where do I stand? Do I know what LMS means? Am I aware of this Moodle? Do I know Canvas? What is Blackboard? For me, Blackboard is the real Blackboard where I'm using Chatbase. Now, I have to understand, I have to come out, I have to know the SWOT analysis, I have to make my own SWOT analysis. Where do I stand? Once I make my SWOT analysis, I can come out what is my strength, what is my weaknesses, what are the challenges, then I can upgrade myself. I have to pilot one intelligent tutoring system tool. I need not use all the tutoring systems that I have used. Take Carnegie Learning, Assessments, Auto Tour, Comingo, mastery over all those things. Impossible task. Impossible task. Master anyone. Select one module. Use it as a trial as an intelligent tutoring system. Measure the impact on student outcomes and share findings. Measure the impact on student outcomes and share findings. Since 5 years, we have started using some software for admission to the postgraduate courses, even undergraduate courses. And in our state, we call it as UUCMS. I tell you, for the benefit of others, the admissions have declined because many of the students do not know how to log into, how to enter into, how to cope up with those technologies. Now I have to make this pilot study before I really implement it. Establish a student data governance policy. This is very much essential. This is very much required for our ethics point of view and all that. Before deploying analytics, co-create a transparent data use agreement with the students. What kind of data we can use? Because there are certain areas where we can really blackmail them using those personal data. Invest in faculty AI pedagogy training. National Educational Policy 2020 completely highlights on pedagogy teaching to the school teacher community. It highlights on the pedagogy teaching. See how particular thing, history, how history can be taught. How history can be taught using Chatbase, how history can be taught using maps, how history can be taught using some local stories. I mean, there are different pedagogical tools. Now, AI as a pedagogical tool has to be taught to the teacher unless and until. So that means some investigation will be there, some investment will be there. Measure and publish what works. Unless and until we know the results, unless and until we know the evidence base, unless and until we document my AI pedagogy, it is very difficult for me to use it in the classroom environment. Coming to the second aspect. Now, library and information science being an interdisciplinary subject, it is an interdisciplinary subject. We all know that it is an interdisciplinary subject, and we are including anything and everything that is emerging. We started including, before me, there were my seniors studied some other things which I didn't study, but I studied some new subjects which were missing again. There was one subject called Universe of Subjects, which is now one unit in classification and cataloging. We have learned it as 100 marks course. We have come out. We have not waited anything. Library management, the same Mittal is there. And with to the Mittal, we have started adding so many things, new things. Drawn from here, drawn from there, drawn from here, and all that. It's just not overloading the things. Curriculum as a subject content, making artificial intelligence the actual subject matter and the core competency to be taught within the LIS curriculum. Within the LIS curriculum. This is the second lens through which I can see the integration of AI as a subject matter. Module 1, Machine Learning Foundations for LIS. Many of our students are now learning machine learning foundations. Theoretically, we are learning them. Either as a subunit in one unit, AI, one unit is there, AI as a unit in one of the e-learning courses or somewhere else, one unit is there as AI. Within that, these are the subunits, machine learning, NLP. So these are there. Very basic minimum level we are studying. But now, when I want to, because certain machine learning activities are in practice in the real library and information centers. Automated subject classification is going on. Reading level assessment is going on. Linked data entity resolution is going on. So these are the areas where actually machine learning has entered into. So what core concepts that I have to teach my LIS students? The three types of machine learning I have to teach. One is the supervised learning, where AI trained on labeled examples. In the library science, I can apply it as training a classifier to categorize library resources by subject. When I've given them thousands of pre-labeled catalog cards, categorize them. The second one is unsupervised learning. AI can find out hidden patterns without labels. See, clustering pattern, borrowing behavior to discover unrecognized reader communities and undeserved interest groups. Who are interested in this, who are not interested in this. Supervised training, unsupervised level training, and the reinforced training, the reinforced learning. All learners learn through trial and reward signals. So optimize library recommendation engine rankings based on patron click through sustained engagement and all that. So these are the areas machine learning foundations have to be taught to the library and information science students as one module, emphasis on having all these aspects. And the second module has to concentrate on NLP, natural language processing and automated metadata generation. So now you can see how the natural language processing metadata pipeline, how AI reads a document. So there is a step horizontally, raw document ingestion will be there, PDF document will be sent, that will be tokenized and parsing will be done, named entity recognition will be done, subject heading mapping, and finally bit frame will be developed. So now, based on these things, the module 2, the natural language processing and automated metadata generation, has to highlight on these three aspects, namely the multilingual metadata at scale. Now we are coming across with the multilingual metadata quality assessment. What is the quality of the metadata that we are using? And what is the ambiguity and context resolutions? These are the three areas that need to be trained, that these three areas have to be students have to be exposed into this module 2. And the third module that we have to concentrate is on AI powered search, discovery, and recommendation. Information searching we have done, online information searching we have done. Now AI powered search and discovery and recommendation. Now, all of us, we are understanding what is this, how it is coming out with some kind of a text before us, how it is putting those things. From keyword searching of 1990s, keyword searching of 1990s, quick, quack, title-based indexing, Precis, Popsy, those historically all possible indexing systems we have been taught and we have learned, many things we have forgotten and everything. But now, in the AI recommendation systems, the students have to learn these three aspects. The collaborative filter. Morning I was referring. Readers who read X also read Y. This kind of collaborative filtering. You can have collaborative filtering, content-based filtering based on their borrowing histories and all that. The third one is deriving hybrid and knowledge graph methods, where the collaborative and the content-based filtering both are mixed. Most sophisticated modern library discovery layers use hybrid methods for best possible results. But how many of us are really using them? Majority of us are not even using the first level collaborative filtering we are using. To some extent, we are also using content-based filtering. But to go to the third one, we are using them, but we do not know how they are happening. The third module has to be emphasized on these AI-powered search, discovery, and recommendation systems. The fourth one should highlight on the data governance and ethical AI in libraries. This is quite essential. Whatever we use, we have to use it as an ethical practice. All of us, we know the story of Ramayana, where one incident come across. Lord Anjaneya goes and lifts the entire Sanjeevani mountain, lifts it back, takes it to the place where the war was going on. The doctor picks up the specific medicine required for Lakshmana, and the ethical use of AI, the ethical use, he taught us the ethics of usage. He did not throw it in Sri Lanka itself. He replaced it back. That's how Maharshi Valmiki describes. He replaces it back. The ethics behind using something or whatever it is, the ethical. This is one ethical issues that I'm telling. There are many ethical issues. There are at least 6 ethical issues which have to be taught to the students. Privacy by design, algorithmic bias auditing, explainability and transparency, how we have to explain certain things, data quality management, inclusive representation, life cycle management. These are the aspects that have to be inculcated into the curriculum so that students can understand what is a data governance, what is ethical AI, how to use them in libraries. All those things, they have to be taught. Otherwise, usage of that AI technology may not be to the extent expected. We have to we have to manage and deploy artificial intelligence in libraries at 3 levels. One is at the foundation level, one is at the practitioner levels, and another one is at the expert level, that is at the decision making. So we require these 3 skill sets for 3 different activities to perform. Even Bilibasi students should know all these things, not required. At the foundation level, what is his job description? What is he supposed to do? What is his job role? If his role is foundational one, in only these things, understand how AI library systems work, evaluate, read and interpret AI system, articulate AI capabilities, the foundational level things. If he is really a practitioner, he's implementing that, he has to configure AI powered discovery layers. That means he has to do to some extent programming and all that, set up chatbot reference services, monitor AI cataloging output, draft institutional AI use policy. At the decision making level or an expert level, he has to lead the entire AI system procurement, design patron facing AI services, commission bias audits, contribute to national or international library and information science AI standards. This is at the highest level. So I don't need all the skills to be taught at to the BLIC or MLIC level at this stage of contributing. You can start with the foundational. Once slowly you can inculcate, you can move forward and come out with some programs so that not everything can be taught at the university level. Either foundation or practicing level aspects can be taught by the universities or by the institutions. Rest of the things could be practiced at the practicing libraries where he can acquire skills and everything. This aspect of integrating AI into curriculum again are based on the same theoretical foundations. Siemens connectivism, we have to connect it to, we have to connect. Learning is the process of creating connections across networks. We have to connect to the next one. So AI is in the next zone, we have to connect it. The critical information literacy framework, disruptive innovation technologies, community of practice, ACRL framework, and the responsible AI principles. These theories tell us how AI as a curriculum should be integrated as a subject content in a particular subject, in a particular discipline. Based on these discussions, I have discussed about how to integrate library and information science as a AI as a subject content in LIS discipline. There are challenges. Again, there are challenges. The first and the foremost point is rapidly obsolescent content. Normally, we are reviewing our curriculum once in 3 years. But take it from me, if you implement AI, your curriculum will be changed every day. Your curriculum will be changed every minute, every day it will be changed. Rapid, continuous curriculum agility is essential for LIS schools. Minimum 3 years, and that too, we are not changing them quite radically. As I told you in the beginning, we don't want to read much of the things. We want to add the new things. Let it be there. Let the world be there because world is gold. But when AI takes curriculum into its hand, there will be continuous changes in your syllabus because whenever there are changes in the practicing libraries, those things will be adopted in the curriculum. Faculty technical capability gap. This is the largest one. This is the biggest problem that we have to overcome. Nearly 40 to 50% of our faculty is on the verge of retiring, including me and the coordinator of this course as well. We are almost on the fag end of our services. The next two to come have to take. There are other things. Technicality gap has to be filled up. We have deep knowledge of library science, not necessarily the information science aspects as well. Now we are talking about artificial intelligence. Unless that technical capability is filled within us, we may not be in a position to deliver the required content to the student community. Third question, balancing theory versus practice. It is there since 1911 in India, the day on which library science was introduced. Theory balancing, how much of theory has to be taught, how much of practicalities has to be taught. Since then, the same trend is continuing. There are always questions about balancing this. We need both conceptual concepts and also we need hands-on skills. This is one area that again we have to, do we really have laboratories to train our students in the universities? These are the questions that we have to pose ourselves. The global inaccessibility, inequality in access. Why to talk about global inequality? Let us talk inequality within the country. There are so-called very old universities, 60-year plus, 70-year plus, 80-year plus library science departments, oldest being the Delhi University, then Karnataka University, Mysore University, and all that. Comparing them with the just emerged 2020, 2021 emerged private universities or state funded universities. Completely inequality in access is there. We have to overcome this problem as well. Keeping ethics central, maintaining the ethical standards, ethics risks, is becoming a single optional module rather than a thread running through the entire course. Ethics is highly, it has to be done. Responsible AI. When I'm talking about responsible AI, I'm talking about Rajnikant's responsible robot 2 decades back. It was, a very raw form of AI. You can use it, but you can say responsible AI. The earlier one which he has produced was not a responsible AI. The later one he has, it's self-destruction, led to self-destruction and all that. And the last one that we have to think about is industry academia alignment. To what extent industry recognizes our employees, our graduates who can handle the systems effectively? Because those industries have to have an alignment with the graduating schools or the departments of library and information science. Bringing that industry into the curriculum is again a very difficult task, but not unachievable, not unachievable, difficult task. These are the challenges that we may have to face. We may have to answer to these questions before implementing AI into the curriculum aspect. Now, if we want to implement, if we want to incorporate, if we want to integrate AI into the LIS syllabus, these are the things that to be proposed. They need to be taught about the foundations, metadata and cataloging techniques, search, discovery and recommendations, data governance and AI ethics, AI library systems management, and finally, AI library project can also be assigned to them to produce the graduates who have competency in these 6 areas. In the areas, they can be able to explain what is ML means, what is NLP means, what is a semantic search work means. Without jargon, it is difficult to understand these concepts. They should be able to explain these concepts, evaluate, procure, and implement AI-powered library systems, generate, audit, and improve AI-created metadata, design and deliver AI literacy instruction programs, and finally, they can lead the institutional AI strategy. Lead the AI strategy, aligning library with the AI roadmaps, with the university priorities and all that. This is our dream. This is our dream. So to achieve these things, there are many things. The road is, far ahead. Road is far ahead. Already these things are in practice. These are being practiced. United States of America, one example is University of Illinois, where LIS is being integrated into the curriculum. UCL Department of Information Studies, Great Britain. Yeah, AI is being used as a pedagogical tool, whereas Nanyang Technological University, Singapore, it is integrated into curriculum, whereas Abo Academy, Finland, it is used as a pedagogical tool. RMIT University, Australia, it is used as a curriculum, whereas in the South African University of Pretoria, it is used, AI is being used both as a pedagogical tool and also as part of the curriculum in LIS. These are the things that we have to share some ethical values, ethical framework we have to come across before implementing into either of these two. Again, a 3-year when roadmap is rolled out for anyone. The first one is for 6 months, we can lay foundations. I mean, I have said 6 months, you can take it up to 1 years, 1 to 1.5 years, you can take it up. Foundations where we can make our self audit, where we can see, we can make a SWOT analysis and come out where are we. Then we start building up in the next 3 years. Sorry, 1.5 year. I mean, now I can increase it to 2 to 2.5 years. Then in the last phase, you can scale and lead the process, because NLP 2020 wants us to completely change by 2040. The results must show before 2030. We are hardly 4 years behind 2030. We can really start up these works, and in the next 10 years, we can go on building and developing our infrastructure. By 2040, we can be completely practicing these aspects. We need to have these technical proficiencies. Unless we have these technical proficiencies, it is very difficult for us to implement the AI either as a pedagogical tool or using it in our curriculum. This is hard-bound truth, and we lag behind. We lag behind to a greater extent. We lag behind to a greater extent. The road ahead, miles to go before we sleep, as it rightly has pointed out. Miles to go before we sleep. Before sleeping, we have to decide where is our road ahead. We have to activate our LMS analytics. In the real sense, how many of us we do really have LMS? Map our curriculum to AI competencies. Build our AI ethics policies. Connect with library and information science AI community. Then start step-by-step approach. This is just the beginning. Miles to go before we sleep. This is where I stop. And I take this opportunity to thank Professor N.S. Harinarayana, my good friend, for inviting me and asking me to deliver 2 lectures on AI, one on collection development and another one on LIS education. I thank him profusely, and I also thank the authorities of MMTTC, Mysore, University of Mysore, for giving me this opportunity. My thanks to Chandrasekhar, Aditya Kumari, and others. I also thank all of you for your patience listening. If there are any questions, most welcome, or already my email ID is given here. You can communicate and you can chat with me. I thank all of you for your patient listening. Thank you very much.
Chaitra madam?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening to one and all. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks. On behalf of all the participants, I extended my heartfelt gratitude to the Malaviya Mission Teacher Training Center and the University of Mysore for jointly organizing the 28th refresher course in Library and Information Science. First of all, I sincerely